Hello everyone. I've decided to go live again because I had a great question asked and I have some time before my dinner is ready. So I want to spend it assisting any way that I can with these questions and delving into things a little bit deeper. Okay, so the question, well, I'll wait for a few people to jump on, but this will be uploaded to the channel so you can watch it later. So I would maybe suggest taking some notes, because sometimes when I start speaking, I kind of start almost channeling from my higher self, and I don't know exactly, and sometimes a lot of info comes out, so I don't really want to stop and reiterate too much. So if you can, grab a piece of paper and a pen and go ahead and take some notes so you can look up some stuff yourself, okay? That is what being a sovereign creator is really all about, right? It is about looking into the world deeper yourself, okay? Looking into your experience here deeper, okay? If there's not a willingness to look into your experience here deeper, then you're not ready to be a sovereign creator. Do you see what I'm saying? So everything that you read, everything that you hear, all the information that you get, you have to be willing to filter it through your own higher self, okay? Your own intuition, all right? Don't believe anything anybody says without doing your own critical assessment, okay? So I'm just here doing what my higher self has led me to do. See what I'm saying? And if I help people in the process that are resonating with me and my information, then that's great, regardless of if it's even one person, okay? I have to keep doing what I feel I'm supposed to do. So let's delve into, because I know the big thing on everybody's mind is kind of this vaccination, right? So I had someone ask a question. I asked if anybody had any questions, and this is the question that I got, okay? With the conjunction that's taking place, what is of extreme interest is getting your perspective on this vaccine that is being rushed within this week to be deployed just in time before December 21st. Let's just stop there. What did I say December 21st was? It's the winter solstice portal. I haven't heard anything about the vaccine being rushed before December 21st, but this person comments that, well, there you go, the portals, right? And what you really think is going on. Ascension suppression, I guess you can say. I learned that there is this chromosome 8, a chromosome for empathy, that is basically going to be changed the moment we take a jab of the vax. Basically strip you from your ability to have empathy, much less any emotion, plus it will connect the nanotech with the satellites that they have already recently launched. And it makes you sterile. Overpopulation is the excuse, okay? So there you go. So here are my thoughts about that, okay? First of all, we have to collectively move past any fear of this vaccine. It's imperative now that we begin, those of us who are capable of it, begin to release all fears surrounding this entire thing. The fear is not productive to bringing in our new earth and raising our vibration for our 5D reality that we're going to experience here together. Fear has no place on the new earth. So we have to begin to release our fears. However you have to do that, okay? Excuse me, I have had to release my own fears in the past few months. Excuse me. So I understand what some of you may be going through, okay? That is part of the human psyche, the doubt, okay, that we have. Is ascension happening? Is the world going to end in turmoil? Is everyone going to get vaccinated and turn into zombies, right? So it's totally normal to have those fears coming up. Okay, that's totally normal. There's nothing wrong with you. This whole situation does conjure that, right? However, it is up to each individual, again, because we're all sovereign creators, to work through that fear, to process that fear, and ultimately to release it back into the light, back into all that is, right? So you're transmuting your fear. And again, that's going to look different for every single person. But the main components of releasing is that you have to feel it. You have to feel it and acknowledge it, okay? So you might be feeling a fear come up, okay? First of all, look at what's triggering that fear. Let's do that first. What was it that triggered your fear? Did you see a news article, a headline? Did you see something on social media about it, and all of a sudden you're feeling like, this sense of panic, okay? I feel that it's really important to tune out all of these things as much as you possibly can. I know I started if I see something pop up, I scroll right through it, okay? I don't watch news. And I really don't like to talk to people about this anymore, okay? Because I have went ahead and went forward to embrace more of the fifth dimensional consciousness, which is the eternal oneness where everything is peace, everything is love, and this type of thing doesn't exist because this is a 3D construct. This is really something that we planned for ourselves in the whole scheme of things in order to experience it, in order to transcend it, okay? So again, as a sovereign creator, you have to take responsibility for everything. You have to take responsibility for what you're watching that's causing the fear, and then eliminate that, and then work on eliminating your fear as well, okay? Because the more people who transcend the fear and hop on over to the 5D consciousness, the faster that we get to that point of the shift, the faster that we experience that new earth that we're longing to experience, what we actually came here for, okay? The real Christmas present of all this that we've been through. So I think it's really important, again, to process your fear and get to a point where you have no more fear. Because when we are afraid, we're giving our power away to whatever caused the fear, okay? If we let something make us afraid, fear is a lower vibration, it's a lower emotion. And we are basically lowering our own vibration and how we feel for something external. And in coming into your sovereign creator's shoes, you're going to want to own your vibration and keep it high. And you're going to want to be the one who determines your vibration at all times. And you do that by noticing when things are bringing it down. But first of all, you have to become aware when it's starting to drop. What are you hearing when you're going into the fear? Who are you around when that vibration starts to drop? What are you listening to? What are you looking at? So I felt good. I was at peace. I was driving down the road, whatever. I was looking at this beautiful day, and all of a sudden, I started to feel dread, and I started to feel upset and anxious. Well, something happened, okay? What were the thoughts that came in that changed your vibe? That is where your work is. That's where your work lies. So, as we're transcending the fear over this situation as a collective, you may also be feeling other people's fear. If you're sensitive, if you're an empath, you might be feeling the collective fear. So now you've got your own on top of whatever's swirling around in the soup, right? So you have to clear a lot of energies that you're picking up. This is why it's extremely important right now to be doing your spiritual work, cleansing your aura, whatever it is that you do that lifts you up and keeps your vibe high. This is the time to do it pretty much daily. This is not the time to let your guard down, because there are some really intense energies in the collective right now. I mean, there are humans confronting what they think is their, what am I trying to say here? I lose words as part of the ascension process. What am I trying to say? The word when you're not eternal. But we have people trying to confront their fears, of being mortal, okay? Thinking that they're mortal and they're like dead, and then that's just it and it's forever. So they're coming to terms, some people are coming to terms with that, especially the young people, for the very first time. That thought of, oh my God, I could die. I remember when I first developed a fear of death, I was about 26, I think. And I had panic attacks thinking about it. And I mean, I remember I would become so afraid of it that, like, if I was on a road where I perceived danger, like the traffic was too fast or whatever, I had to pull over and stop the car and breathe and just like hold the steering wheel and just like get my breath, okay? And what I ended up doing was I actually sought out a shaman to help me. I'd never been to a shaman before, but I knew I didn't need to go to a medical doctor, because I knew this was more of a spiritual awakening than it was something mental, And the shaman was a female, and she actually told me that, she said, "Why are you here? Why did you come see me?" And I said, "Because I have a fear of death." And she said, "Good. That's good. That means you've done some really deep work to even get to that fear of death. So if you've had a fear of death during this year, or you're just realizing all the people that do, that's actually good. You have to get to that. You have to feel a fear before you can transcend it. And then, of course, you come to a point where you realize that death is pretty much an illusion, and you just kind of switch forms, but you're an eternal being. And it's like, okay, why was I so scared? Why was I freaking out? I used to research near-death experiences for a long time, because I was just fascinated with people who had had that and then came back into their body. And by and large, almost every single person in these books I would read that had a near-death experience, and some people actually died. They were what do you call them, declared dead for minutes. Their heart actually stopped. And they all, by and large, when they chose to come back, because they did choose, because we're sovereign beings, so they just met with their guides, or it might have taken the form of a deceased loved one or something, and they were clear that they had a choice to stay or to come back. And many of them chose to come back because they had loved ones that they wanted to come back for. Okay, they really didn't want to come back because they felt how great it was there, and they remembered, like, you know, if they were in a car wreck, they're like, oh God, my body is laying there all beaten up. I don't want to get back in that and feel that pain. But then they'd have like a child or somebody that they're like, I have to go back because I have to be there for them. But they all said across the board they had no more fear of death after that. It was just gone. They just came back, and they were, a lot of them got depressed because they remembered what it was like on the other side of the veil, and they had peace and no pain. And then they come back here and have all the human problems in the human body that has the issues. So I guess what I'm trying to say in all of that is the fear of death is quite normal until you've transcended it. But we had a lot of, or have a lot of, young souls on this planet that had never really transcended their fear of death, and it had never really been triggered until this year. So all that's swirling around in the collective, and it's easy if you're empathic or sensitive to pick up on that. Especially the people who have committed suicide and have gone into a deep depression. Unfortunately, you can feel all of that if you're sensitive. So, what have I always said in my videos? I have said you can go way back, even a few years ago, and if you watch my content, I have always suggested a few things to help you through the ascension process and to help you process all of the energy that's coming through you. And yes, emotions are energy, and yes, thoughts are energy. Everything is energy. So as you're getting the cosmic energy coming in through the portals, into your cells, into your body, into your mind, then you got your own, it's pushing up and it's bringing up certain emotions, or actually certain thoughts, and then certain emotions, certain memories that may have been suppressed for a very long time. And it's all kind of like swirling around in your field. How are you going to process that? How are you going to help yourself process this? Nobody talks about this very much, by the way. And I've watched a lot of stuff. And I really just feel like there's so much practical advice missing. And that's one reason why I feel compelled to speak about it. Because to me, it needs to get down to the nitty-gritty. We need to get down to the actual things that you can do. And by the way, things that everybody can do, not just things that people who have the money to pay for these programs can do, right? So what have I always said? Salt baths. Salt baths. Very, very effective, okay? Very healing on so many levels. It cannot be stressed enough. Salt baths, okay? And I'm not talking about the salt that like you'll go to like Lush or Bath and Body Works or something, and you get the salt that's got like, it smells really good, and it probably has chemicals in it and perfumes and stuff like that. No, that's not the kind. you need to get natural salts from the earth, like the Dead Sea salts from natural salt beds. Utah, I believe, has a lot of natural salt deposits. So if you're looking for a product, you might, if it comes from like Utah, that's probably authentic. I think mine do. I'll put a link, if I can, in this live video to the ones I buy. They're red, okay? So if you see like red salts, those are generally ones that came from the earth. They have a natural sediment that turns it that color. Okay, I buy a big bucket. It's about 7 pounds. It's like 20 bucks, which is not much for what it does for you. I mean, it's very cheap therapy. So I think Whole Foods has it in their bath and beauty section. I think Sprouts has it. Amazon definitely has it. So yeah, go and look for yourself some natural salts that you can put in a bath. Okay, this is going to help you when you're feeling overwhelmed, when you're feeling anxiety, when you're feeling fear, when you're feeling annoyed. You know, a lot of you might live with people that trigger you, and I have a lot of sympathy for that, or empathy for that rather, both actually, because I've lived with people pretty much my entire life. I've always lived in a house with several people until now, and it really affects me. You know, other people's stuff can be heavy, so you have to protect yourself, and you have to know how to cleanse, process, transmute, protect. Okay, that's pretty much the cycle. It just goes over and over and over while you're sending. It's, you know, assimilate, process, cleanse, protect, and shield. Okay, and then it just keeps going. Think about like changing your oil of a car. Okay, you gotta keep tuning up and cleansing your spirit body, your energy body. So get those salts, okay? Get the salts. If I can, I'll put a link to them. Hi, I'm good. How are you? I will put a link to them in the description if I can. I don't know how to do these live videos really. This is my second one. But if I can, I'll put a link to the ones I buy. They're on Amazon. And go through my link if you can, because I do get a tiny little kickback for that. So let's see. The salt's really important. Another thing is your water, okay? Your water. What kind of water are you drinking? Please don't say water from the faucet. I hope nobody, I would think everybody by now knows that's a big no-no. Faucet water is not made for drinking unless you have, you know, your own water cleansing system installed. Most of us don't, so alkaline water, I believe, for me, I'm just telling you what works for me, but as somebody who's on the forefront of this ascension, I would think that this would be something that would be helpful. 2 kinds of water are the best for me. Oh, you're welcome, honey. Oh, you're welcome. Honestly, I just was led to, because we're in this portal. We're right there. We're almost to the 1212, and I know people need help. And I know that we need comfort, we need help, we need clarity, we need a direction to move in collectively together. It's not just going to happen if somebody doesn't start taking the lead. So I'm offering myself as a leader of the new earth to help and assist anybody who needs it, and to make myself more available now as much as I can. Sometimes these energies come in and they knock me down, and I am in bed, or I'm just like, I can't see people, I can't do things like this. But right now I'm feeling pretty strong. So, water, alkaline and spring water are my two favorites. I was told that for a starseed, spring water is really, really good. Good. I'm glad to hear it. So alkaline water and spring water. Alkaline, okay, Ocean State Job. Okay, I don't know what that means. Is that a website or something? Ocean State Job, she was saying, oh, Himalayan salts, that's really good. So I go to a water store that has the reverse osmosis, and they have alkaline water options. And I take my jugs. I have like 2 big 5-gallon jugs and 2 3-gallon jugs. And I take those and I fill them up whenever they run out. And I give that to my dogs too, by the way. So if you have pets, guys, please pay attention to their water too. The pets are so special. Most pets are on a higher frequency already, and they are assisting us. They're loving us, they're supporting us, they're supporting the earth, and they also need they need high quality water. Their bodies are ascending too. They're going through this process. They're receiving these energies. I can tell my dog right now, one of them, she's exhausted. She's sleeping a lot. She is not one to be that lazy. She's usually a lot more hyper. So yeah, give them the alkaline water and give them some spring water. Both of those waters are good. I just kind of go based on how I feel. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I really need some spring water, and then I'll grab one. Most of the time I drink the alkaline, because a lot of the food that we're consuming is acidic. And when the body has too high of acidity levels, that's when we can get sick. That's when diseases can exist within us. If we keep the body alkaline, then these things can't happen, as far as I understand. For what I tend to believe is that it's better to be more alkaline. So fresh fruits, vegetables, especially organic if you can, because those things are really important. So let's see what else. So your water, okay? Your water, don't be lazy with your water. Yes, yep. That is exactly right, when you get close to these portals. And when you know what the portals are, okay, I don't know if you guys can see other people's comments, but we just had someone say they've been very tired, and they didn't previously realize that it was, about the portals, but now she's realizing that close to the portal. I'm sorry, your comment went away, so I'm paraphrasing. But that you're very tired, and yes, that is that is one of the main side effects of the portals, is fatigue, because these energies are intense. Like if you think about I don't know, let me speak about that, but you know how a diamond has to undergo, or a stone or whatever it is that becomes a diamond has to undergo a massive amount of pressure in order to become the diamond, okay? That's like what we're going through. We're literally evolving into our higher self, our light body, our galactic body. There's so many different ways to say it. but our cosmic body, you know, we're merging our God self, our divine self, with this physical self. And our soul, our divine self, is so much more powerful than this physical shell. And when the two start to merge, we can feel very, very uncomfortable, very, very scared. All kinds of things come up because this is something that's never been done before on a mass scale. This is something we are pioneering this as far as a mass ascension with a planet. Got to remember, our planet is also going through this. Our planet is Gaia. That's her spirit body. Our planet has a soul. It's a living entity, and her spirit name, her soul name is Gaia. And she is also raising her vibration, right? We're doing this all together. And it is a massive event and a massive undertaking. In fact, it's so intricate that it's been unfolding for decades now. Okay, it's taken that amount of time to get to it because it has to happen gradually. It has to happen in stages. It can't all happen at once or everything would just blow up. What is that biblical reference about the new wine? You don't pour new wine in old wineskins or something like that. And I don't know much about that personally, but I guess I've heard that if you do that, if you pour brand new wine in old wineskins or something, that they could burst. Well, it's the same with us, and it's the same with our planet. We're going from a 3D state, a dense physical state, to a more higher dimensional, I want to say ethereal, but I don't know if that's the word that I should be using right now, but more of a cosmic state. And we can't just take that potent energy that hasn't been available on this planet for eons of time and just pound it, pound it on the planet, pound it in our cells. I mean, we would just combust. It is that potent. So that is why we have the portals. The portals are like letting little increments of it in. Do you see what I mean? The portals allow us to have a process. If we didn't have the portals, I don't really think that this could occur, because the portals are gradually allowing us to evolve. Okay? Each portal, like, I don't know if you guys know of this lady named Denise LaFay. She is a person that I found and was reading some of her info back over a decade ago when I started waking up. Now, since then, I have realized I'm not sure about all her information, okay? But all I can attest to is that she talks about the stair steps of ascension, like a ladder, okay? So if you want to think about the portals in terms of a ladder, that's a good visual, because after we have a portal and we get a little increment, we get a dose of that cosmic energy onto the Earth's plane, we absorb it in our cells, we detox the lower ego crap, the lower emotions, the old us, parts of the old us die, and now we go up a stair, okay? Together, collectively, we go up a stair, and then we're there for a while. We're just chilling at that level, and then we can't stay there though, because because creation is always evolving. It's ever expanding. It's never going to stop. It is an internal process of expansion. So here comes the next stair step, and here we go again, right? But you can't, if you're going to go up to the top, the very top of the ladder, you don't want to be weighed down with all this heavy crap that's going to make you fall. So we start to release it so we can be light enough to get to the top. Another great visual that's helped me throughout these years is a hot air balloon. You know how a hot air balloon has the sandbags, right, that hold it down. It's never going to get off the ground unless the sandbags are tossed out, right? So as we're ascending, as we're unloading our old self, our old baggage, that's like us tossing the sandbags over so that we can be our highest version of ourselves and be light enough to ascend and fly and raise our vibration. So, I think that this might be a good stopping point unless anybody has a question for me. Oh, back to the vaccines really quick. So don't be afraid, guys. Don't be afraid. I mean, let's really look at this. We're all creators. Yes, I'm barefoot. We're all creators. We're all sovereign. We are all in this together, okay? We chose to be here. You may not remember it, but you will. You will. When you return to your full consciousness, you'll remember you chose to be here. Nobody's here that didn't choose to be here. That's part of the free will of everything. And if you did choose to be here, you knew what you were doing. You knew why you came, and you knew the probability of ascension. You knew nobody is on the earth at this time that didn't know the probability of what was going to happen, okay? Many, many people got lost in the illusion and haven't woken up and might not wake up, might choose to leave the Earth's plane. We've had lots and lots of deaths in the last 20 years. And I'm not talking about from this year, okay? People have lost sight of the fact that we have had a lot of deaths way before this year, like more than I think is normal. It's like, you know, it got to the point where it's like every other person you know, it's like so-and-so died. And they were like sudden deaths or young deaths or suicides. Because this is an intense process. And some people cannot handle the energies. They cannot handle them. It's just too intense for them. I had a friend commit suicide. God, I guess it was it had to be at least 6 years ago because my dog is 6. He committed suicide. He could not, and he was a great person. Very kind, but he just couldn't reconcile why the world was so evil, you know? He really had a hard time with it. And then he developed some physical problems that made it even worse for him. So he killed himself. And so prove what? I don't know what you're saying. So he killed himself, and there's a lot of people that have done the same thing. There's a lot of people who have done the same thing, and that's okay. The thing about it is, we think it's so tragic and everything here, but they still exist, okay? This just wasn't for them, okay? Was not, their soul had another, it took a detour, okay? It had another plan. And they were aware of it. I mean, I remember my friend was 100% okay with that choice. And I had never seen somebody so okay. I didn't think he would do it. Honey, can you ask me that one more time? Because I'm sorry, your comment just went away. I know I said I saw something about the 1212 portal, and then I was just finishing my thought, so if you can write it again, I'll try to answer that. But I'm just going to open this for questions for the rest of the time. I'm making a baked potato, so it should be getting done here in 10 minutes or so. So yeah. Oh, I have a sound bowl. I wanted to do a sound healing for us. Why not? Just clear some energy. This is a crystal sound bowl. But yeah, ask your questions because I'm paying attention. Okay. See a link between 12. Yeah. The link is, so she asked, sorry, I don't know if you guys can see that. Do you see a link between the 1212 and the 1221 portal? Well, I'm just going to answer as best that I can. The link kind of is that one precedes the other, one opens, it's a precursor. So the 1221, which is the winter solstice, is the most powerful portal of each year because think about it. Every portal builds a little bit more light on the earth, a little bit more, right? Oh, you're funny. Okay, I'll prove it. I'm barefoot. And my feet are dirty because I don't like to wear socks in my house. But anyways, so if you think about it, all through the year, each portal has brought in a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit more, and then we get to the last one of the year, the winter solstice. And that's like the most powerful because of all the energy that has preceded it. Likewise, every single year, okay, get ready, every single year that winter solstice is the most powerful. Does that make sense? Since this process began, since the Ascension process began in earnest, this year, 2020, will be the most powerful winter. I'm getting chills, guys. This is no joke. Whenever I speak truth, a big truth, the hair on my arms stand up. I don't know if you can see that. Every time, and it just did. Why? Because I'm excited. I've lived my life for this. Really mute all this, but I'm so fascinated and excited. So I can explain. Oh, sorry, it went away. I wish I could save it. All I got to was the point where you said, so I can explain. Okay. Yes, ma'am. 1221 major conjunction. Major. And it is. And think about it, guys. Where else is there to go? Where else is there to go? Where are we going, guys? We're all gonna get this Frankenstein vaccination and start, I don't know. No. Oh, to other newbies, what kind of physical, tangible things might we expect to see on 12/21? Okay, well, first of all, let me explain that most of the time you do not see something exactly on the date of the portal, okay? The reason we celebrate that as forerunners is because we know that that is the date that another divine dispensation of higher energy is entering the Earth's plane. I have chills again because I just love portals. I get so excited. But it can take a while, okay? That dispensation comes in, but then we have to assimilate it, okay? It settles. Let's put it that way. The energy will come in on that date. It's coming in now. This portal is so big that this has been streaming in probably since the beginning of the month. Okay, the 12/12 is a portal, so that's in 2 days. That will have a little bit higher potency because it is a portal. Portals are codes to the universe, okay? Just think of a computer like a binary code, the ones and the zeros. You can write a whole program using, I believe, using binary code. I don't really know how that works. Yes, yeah, she says, I already feel the 12/21. Wow, and yeah, I do too. I do too. I've been feeling it for a bit now. And I'm just trying to be gentle to myself and not expect, too much. Like I said, also, that's another thing. Be kind to yourself, okay? If you're just feeling run down, guys, this is the biggest thing that's ever happened, ever, on this earth. The biggest thing that's ever occurred. And we have off-planet beings observing this. I live in Vegas, and in the desert, there are a lot of light ships that take the form of clouds. They're higher dimensional light ships, and they are monitoring the Earth's ascension. This is huge. This is huge in the whole universe, okay, and the multiverse. This is huge because when it's all part of each other. So when one planet ascends, it also ascends the universe even more. So they're all excited for us, and they are assisting us. Sometimes they beam love frequencies. If you ever see one, the way you can know that it's of the light is you'll feel love. Okay, you'll feel a warmth. Like you look up and you see it and you think, oh, that's not a cloud. That's not really a cloud. That feels different. And then just trust your heart. Okay, trust your heart. They might send you a message, and you can just open your heart chakra and just send them love, and then they'll send you some love. All right, guys. Let me just do a little bit of this sound healing. Oh, but for the newbies, so for the physical changes, just know that it's going to take a while. Next 6 months or a year, what will daily life be like? How our life's going to change? Okay, well, one thing that's going to, many things are going to change. Let me just say, this earth is going to get an irrecognizable facelift. So, but it's nothing but good, okay? It's nothing but good. We're going to remember how to clean this earth up first and foremost, because it's been abused for a very long time and polluted and abused. So it's gonna get cleaned. The oceans are gonna get cleaned. The air is gonna get cleaned. The water is gonna get cleaned. That's like priority one. It's gonna be paradise. It's gonna be paradise. And when I say that, I just want people to not shut down, because sometimes it sounds too good to be true. I don't want to hear this. I don't want to believe this, because what if it doesn't happen? Listen, guys, I know it's gonna happen. I know it. I've lived the last pretty much since I was a kid. I knew this place was not what it's gonna be. But for the last 13 years at least, I've been keenly aware that this is happening, okay? And when you know, because you will read sources and it will resonate, and you'll find somebody that is speaking the truth to you, and the truth activates your DNA, and you're gonna know. There is a plan for this planet, and it's not destruction, okay? Not on this timeline. There are different timelines. That's a whole nother thing. But if you're here with me watching this, you're on the highest timeline. You're on the Ascension timeline, okay? There's no way you would be 50 minutes in if you were not 100% ascendant. It's just no, people who are not have no interest. Okay, it all sounds like this wah wah to them. If you're involved in it, then you're ascending. And then they say this is the end of days. I used to think that, but not now. I know peace and prosperity are coming. Yep. Well, and they're correct in a way. It is the end of the old. You know what I mean? It is the end of the old earth. It is the end of the old human ego. It is the end of the warring and the violence and the manipulation and all that. It is, but you know, it had to get worse before it could get better, because until it got worse, a lot of people paid no attention to the higher reality. And this has been a wake-up call. This has been a huge wake-up call. But people that were awake, like myself, I knew this would happen any day. Like, you know, the minute that they started shutting things down, I was like, oh, here we go. But I was more excited because I was like, hell yeah, let's go, let's ascend. And here we are a year later, and I'm just so tired. And the people who have been consciously going, thank you. The people who have consciously been going through this, and that person knows probably what I'm talking about, are so tired. They're so tired. And it's like, it's just the most boring thing. As we are leaving the place and we'll be raptured to heaven, but now I realize that heaven is actually here on earth. Yes. Yeah, we're not going anywhere. We're hiring our vibration and our consciousness, and everything is here. Everything is here now. It's just the way we experience different states of reality is through vibratory levels, and that's why they've done so many things to keep the vibration low on the earth, like the chemtrails and the toxins in the food and all the stuff that they do to dumb down the population. They do that. They've even messed with the earth's magnetic field, okay, to keep the vibration low, to keep people from realizing that they're sovereign and that they're creators. Because they want them to be controllable and give all their power away and be subservient to an external system that can use them, manipulate them. That's it. So, but it's all turning now. So just be of joy, because yes, heaven is coming to earth. Heaven is coming to earth. And heaven sent messengers ahead of time. And I am one of those. And there are several others. And that way we could be from within, you know, from within, because that's the one thing the dark side didn't understand, is how the divine was going to infiltrate through certain people and be the ground crew, right? So okay guys, I'm gonna, I can smell my potato. It smells so good. But I'm gonna do this sound bowl for you, because I think we should just clear the whole, like, you know, clear the whole energy together. Yes, we're all infinite consciousness. Yep, in human form. Absolutely. Yes, we are. We are all miracles. We are miracles. Take a deep breath. Let it fill your whole lungs and your whole belly with this infinite cosmic breath that connects you. breath is spirit. And if you ever find yourself super stressed and your wheels are spinning, I want you to concentrate on one breath and the miracle of that one breath, and then you will know the truth. You just inhaled that magical spirit into a physical vessel that allows you to animate it in its consciousness. The breath is the most magical thing. I see my dog sleeping right now, and I see her breathing. Without that breath, it's just a vessel, right? So thank you guys so much. I will save this to the channel for people who will come later. And if you think of any other questions, just leave them. I'm going to be doing a lot of lives because we have to bring this home now more than ever. And this is a powerful month. So thank you guys. Much love. Hang in there, okay? Do some salt baths. Drink good water. Eat the fruits and vegetables. Spend time in nature. Focus on the breath. Spend time with your animals. Anything that brings you love, you're welcome. Anything that brings you love and a feeling of excitement and joy, magic, you go do that, okay? Everything else will take care of itself when enough of us are in that energy. Ignore the world, the old world. It is crumbling quickly. And that's what we want it to do. And the more we ignore it and turn towards what's coming, the faster we're going to get there. All right? Much love. Love you guys so much.